Welcome back to another episode of Box Office Buddies, podcast where we have a new guest on week after week, movie after movie. But if you see, this is actually not a new guest, but a returner. And we're going to do a different kind of episode where it's called a box office battle. But I'm going to let my guest introduce himself again if he'd like to. And yeah, you've been kind of a polarizing guest as well. Some people love you, some people hate you.
Haters gonna hate.
Okay.
Lovers are gonna love. I am a lover.
Okay.
So I'm your uncle. The reason why you love movies. So
Yeah.
it's your Uncle Ray. That's
Okay.
it. I'm everybody's Uncle Ray. So I love y'all. I even love the haters. How y'all doing? The people who do hate me, next season, y'all can always come up here and come talk to me, and we can discuss the reason why y'all hate me because y'all
Yeah.
pick whack movies. My man, you know who you are. We talked about your movie. You know who you are and what movie you picked. We can talk about that. Anyway.
No, yeah, that's good. And so today, man, I'm really excited for this episode because we're doing top 5 superhero movies. And I mean, this is really where my love started, going to movies with you. I remember seeing the first Iron Man, the first Avengers. You were supposed to wait to take Aunt Stina. Which
Hey, man. Hey.
He has been out the bag.
You are absolutely correct about that.
Yes. I mean, the most movies we see together have been superhero movies.
Yes,
and
they have.
we talk about those. And I mean, way back when I lived in Norman, you were babysitting me. I was grounded, and you were watching the Justice League kind of movie or something like that. It was animated,
Right.
And I asked if I could watch it with you, and you told me no because I was grounded. And so you respected the rules, but I would occasionally peep out, check everything. But so yeah, this genre of movies holds a special place in my heart because of our close connection. And every time a movie comes out, we're always calling and talking about it if we don't see it with each other.
And I want to piggyback off that. Yeah, I used to love just calling you and me like, yo, when are we watching this movie together? And I know we've been busy now as we've gotten older. If you've gotten older,
Yeah.
we've just gotten busy. But I do want to get back to doing that, like me and you going to watch movies,
Yeah.
even if we don't watch them at the premiere. Me and you need to go back to
Yeah.
going watching movies. But
Yeah.
that used to be my highlight, like when a new movie came out, superhero movie especially. Yo, Brandon, when we going to watch this movie? Like
Yeah.
we used to set times and dates. And it just used to be me and you watching whatever the movie was and then talking about it right after.
Yeah.
And even when we didn't watch them together, it'd be like, yo, did you see it yet? And we used to just be on the phone for at least like 30 minutes to an hour, just dissecting what our favorite parts were. And it just was a special time because, I mean, I don't know. I know I've told you this before. This is how I got into movies was because of your grandpa, right? The first movie I just remember really, really watching was Star Wars with your grandpa. And then that's how I became a movie buff. So to share that same experience with you, even though it wasn't like Star Wars, it was a superhero movie. It's just great to know that we share that passion. And like now you're doing big things with this and doing it with your friends, man. I mean, like I said, I love you. And like I said, I'm going to do this with you all the time and just I can share this with you. So let's get at it.
Yeah. Before we get at it, one last question.
Yeah.
Where does this rank on your genre list of types of movies?
Oh, superhero movies?
Yeah.
Oh, number one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, as much as I love Star Wars and stuff like that, I mean, superhero movies, I mean, I'm a kid at heart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I collect toys still. I love superhero movies. I love comic books. It's just a fun way to escape, but they do tell like great stories. And as you can see when we talk about some of these movies, especially my number one superhero movie, it can also bring complexity to stories, right? And make you think a certain way. So, I mean, I'm not going to reveal, I'm going to talk about why the number one movie is my favorite superhero movie, but in explaining why it's my favorite one, it's because of the complexity of the story and the way it's told. I mean, I just love that when a good movie, not even superhero movie, but a good movie tells a complex story and makes you think differently than what you thought you would have thought.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
I'll guess go first. And so I'll let you drop your number 5 first. And then
no, because we talked about this kind of off air first. We both have honorable mentions.
You're
right.
You're
We both have honorable mentions.
Yes.
So my honorable mention and we also talked about this, that some of our movies might be on the same of our list, right? But my honorable mention is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's the
newest one.
So that's the thing. That's what I was about to say, right? So the first iteration of every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie is always the best. So whether that be when I was a kid, the first time the live action movie came out was the best of that series, right? And then when Michael Bay redid it, that was the best, right? The first one. And then now the cartoon that just came out is the best, right? Cartoon movie that came out. So that whole iteration of the first time the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies came out, that's my honorable mention. When you're talking about like superhero movies, those first iterations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies are my honorable mention favorite comic book movies. And I'll tell you why. It was such a breath of fresh air. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? It's just the story of this ooze coming out of nowhere, right? It was just so dumb that this ooze comes, turns these turtles into teenagers, mutants, Ninja Turtles, and a rat who watched a kung fu expert and then teaches these turtles like kung fu, right? It was weird. It was so, and here's the thing that like I didn't notice until I got older. You have these kids that grew up in New York, and they all sound like California surfers in the cartoon, right? And it was just so weird. And I never thought about that, like growing up watching the cartoon. So it was funny, like as I got older. But what the first movie did, again, is they all loved pizza, which I was a kid, I loved pizza. But it was just so entertaining and so fun. But what I loved about the cartoon that just came out, the newest one, is they kind of changed it, and they did make the kids New York. So that was great, and they made all the latest slang, and I loved how they made all the references like now references, right? So they talked about Batman, but they also talked about Spider-Man, and they just made it so clean, and I just love the way they did that, and just they made it so new. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have just lived throughout time and made it great. So I love that as a genre of superhero movies. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
My honorable mention, and I think truly one of the best. And I do want to say to you and to everyone listening, these five that we're going to get into, at least for me, they're not the best five, but the most impactful.
Exactly.
And so I think this movie I'm about to say is really good. And it's the Batman.
Okay.
And I think
when you say the Batman,
which Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Okay. Yeah. Because I think what we're gonna have to do through this is distinct which one we're talking about also. And I agree with you. These aren't the best in the world. These are just what's impactful to us and why we like them. Right. So go ahead.
And so man, that movie, I grew up Dark Knight, all that, and but like to see, and I feel like I didn't think Ben Affleck's Batman was the worst thing in the world. But it did take a sharp turn of like, man, where are we going? And so to get the Batman with Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves, as a different kind of movie, and a movie where it doesn't focus on Bruce Wayne at all, but it's just I'm the Batman, and I'm not really focused on this alter ego of this billionaire playboy. And it was a slow movie. It was a slow grind detective, and it was fresh, and it was good, and one of my favorite movies that have ever been done. And then me and Mason talk about The Penguin that came out on Max recently, and so man, I love the direction they're going, and excited for the next one.
So okay, a couple things about the Batman. Besides the fact it's slow, I did like it the very first time I watched it. He totally failed at the end of that movie, by the way, which I think is amazing. And people don't realize that he was a horrible Batman in that whole movie. Like, I love the Penguin because he laughed at them. Like, the Batman failed in that movie all the way through that movie. Like, he found little clues, but it's like, I was watching that movie thinking, I could have done that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, when him and Commissioner Gordon was questioning the Penguin, and it basically said, like, it was like the little rat or something like that. And he was like, you guys are stupid. And like, in the Penguin's like laughing at him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, yes, the whole crowd figured this out like 20 minutes ago. What are you two doing? Yeah. So I thought that was like hilarious. Yeah. But I think like Matt Reeves did such a great job of making that movie, like the tone of it, it was very dark, but it was also like hints of funny in it, because I remember seeing it where when he he knocked on the door of the Penguins what do you call it, club, right?
Yeah,
as Batman several times, right? So they were like kind of scared, but then when he knocked on his Bruce Wayne, they weren't scared of him at all. Yeah. And here's the weird thing too, like all the low level people were scared of Batman, like deathly afraid of him. But if you ever notice, once like he got to a certain height of enemy, or like what's the word I'm looking for, like henchman or whatever, people weren't scared of the Batman.
Not at all.
They were just like, you're just some guy in a suit.
Yeah.
So they were just like, let him in or whatever, and they're like, dude, you're just as deranged as all of us. You're just some guy in a suit. So I liked that whole like dynamic where you're just somebody. Yeah. So I did think it was good the first time I watched it. I have not been able to watch it ever again. Yeah. And then like you go to the Penguin. You said you and Mason talked about the Penguin. I've not finished that series. I can't. I think again.
Don't think it's good?
I don't know what it is. Yeah. I've heard it's really good. I just can't finish it. Yeah. So please, I mean, if you guys keep recommending it, I've tried, but
it's solid.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's your number 5?
Oh, let's go ahead and look at the list right here. I should know it. Oh, actually, I do know exactly what it is. Number 5. Sorry about that. Megamind.
Actually,
really? Yes. Megamind is my number 5.
Wow.
I told you this list is going to be kind of gonna be different. Let me tell you why. You know, your cousins, right? Yeah. Like, and your aunt, they got me to appreciate, but I really like this movie. Hopefully everyone has seen Megamind. It's a great movie. Like, you'll see a theme through this about the movies I like. The villains, like, you have to have a certain type of villain for me to enjoy a superhero movie. Yeah. He was just misunderstood. I don't know if he was really a villain. He just played a part. Yeah. Right? And like, people just assumed he was a villain. Yeah. Right? Here's another thing too. And this is not on my list because it's not a superhero movie, but I love The Grinch. Like, during Christmas, I love The Grinch. Mm-hmm. The Grinch was never really a bad guy. They just treated him bad, right? So he just like, screw it. I'm gonna play the villain. Yeah. Just like Megamind, I don't think he was really a villain. He just grew up in a prison, and they just were like, he's gonna be the bad guy. And then, if you really ever notice, the good guy in that movie is trash. Yeah. Like, they just made him the good guy. Yeah. He was bored of being the good guy, so he faked his death. Yeah. And then once Megamind could do whatever he wanted to do, he was like, this is kind of boring. Yeah. Right? So then he had to make a good guy who then became more trash than the real good guy. He started being a bad guy. So Megamind was like, okay, fine, I'll be a good guy. And then he became a better good guy than the good guy. So it's just like the turn of events. Plus, it's just a hilarious movie. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So to me, it's the circumstances that he's put in, but then once he's able to actually step up and show that he can be a good guy, he does it. And that's really the humanity of it. Like, once he can show his true nature and his true calling, he does that. And that's what makes it a great movie. And that's what a true superhero does. When it's time to show your true character and to be that actual good guy, that's what he does. So, I mean, Megamind is dope to me. Yeah. And he's hilarious. Him and his man in the fishbowl. Hilarious. And all the little gadgets he be getting. Yeah. Like, he really does fight crime, and he does it because he wants to, not because he has to. Yeah. And him and his chick, they cool. So, I mean, Megamind, it's definitely my top 5.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I mean, we reviewed Megamind, one of our first episodes, and one of the first time watching it. And yeah, I mean, he was given a role in life, and he was like, okay, I'll play this role. And then he realized, actually, this is not who I am. So I'm gonna change my own scripts and help people. Man, my number 5, and this was hard, but hearing you say Megamind actually helped me. Sky High.
That was gonna be one of mine too, but I had to drop it out. Sky High is dope.
My goodness. Yes. Man, I was writing down my notes, and man, I think that also helped introduce a love for superheroes at such a young age.
I'm sorry, hold on. Before you keep going, this is why I love you. Like, this is why we are related. Because I saw Sky High and I almost put that down, but I was like, Brandon's going to say Sky High.
Yep.
I know my nephew.
Yes.
And I love Sky. And who knows? Here's the funny thing. We're doing this, right? People are going to watch this.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many people do you think that watch this know what Sky High is? I mean, it is around your genre, right?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
That's a small percentage.
Tell people what Sky High is about.
Man, Sky High is about Will Armstrong. And
Armstrong, you're right.
Yeah, he grew up with the best superhero parents.
Yes.
No one more powerful, and this guy doesn't have any powers. And when you meet him, he's trying to bench like 135, and he can't get it up. But he's fooling his parents. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a superhero. Like I'm just like you guys," and they're proud of him. And he's about to go to this school, which is Sky High, which is just full of superheroes. And he's like, "I don't have any powers," and he's just like trying to make it. But because he has parents who are superheroes, like he can go. And then as the movie progresses, like, his powers don't come at all, and he's just deemed a sidekick.
The sidekicks, I love it.
And man, it's a story in some ways kind of like Megamind, but he's just like, he's given this role and he's like, how do I make the best with this role? How am I gonna help people with this role? And it's really just him coming to terms with like, who am I? Like all my best friends are sidekicks. But I mean, towards the middle of the movie, he finds out that, oh, I do have powers. And he's like, okay, what do am I one of them? Am I one of them? And
am I one of the superheroes, or do I still kick it with the sidekicks?
Yeah. There's a girl I like. She's a superhero, but like my best friend, who's also a girl, she's a sidekick. And so he's like, man, where do I go? And a cool villain in War and Peace, man. That guy.
War and
cool.
Peace was dope. Yeah,
and they had that good twist.
Yeah.
And so man, I love that movie. I actually have it here. Good music, good twist. Sidekick saved the day. It's funny. Yeah, I love Sky High.
Sky High is a classic.
And I've probably seen it the most out of all these movies just because as a kid, like it was just always on Disney. And had it as a kid, and so special place in my heart for sure.
Yes. If you guys get a chance, please watch Sky High. Yeah. If anything, yes. I can highly recommend it.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 4 is, let's go ahead and see, the original Superman 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Donner, right?
Donner. Yeah. So for people who don't know, Superman 1 and 2 were actually filmed back to back. So yeah. So Superman 2, Kneel Before Zod, right? Okay. So yeah, it was amazing. So I actually loved Superman 2 because Superman 2 is where Superman was just tired. Like he just was like, listen, I'm tired of saving you folks. Yeah, and not that you guys don't appreciate me, but I got Lois now. Yeah. And I just want to chill. You know, I done saved the world from everything just everything, right? And I done lost this woman about 8 times. I'm tired of dealing with Lex. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just want to be normal. So he went to the Fortress of Solitude and was like, hey, how can I be normal? They was like, hey, jump in that little crystal closet thing, you'll be normal. Yeah. And like, word, for real? And yeah, sure, why not? We'll see what happens. So he jumps in the little crystal thing, and I forgot why. I forgot what happened that made him just want to be normal or something like that. Something for Lois. It's always over a woman that you do something dumb. So he goes to be normal or whatever, and he gets to be normal. And he finds out the first day of being normal is not cool because he goes to a truck stop and he meets Biff, whoever. Yeah. And then Biff beats him up. He realizes getting beat up is not cool. Yeah. Right. And then he breaks his hand and Biff smashes potatoes in his face and all these other cool things. Yeah. And then as that's happening, Zod breaks out of the negative zone. Yeah. And starts trying to take over the world with Lex, right? Because Lex always breaks out of prison, right? And then they go to, because Zod starts looking for Superman, and then they go to the White House, and of course they take over. Why not? That's how things go. Yeah. So, but to me, it's one of those things where you just want to be normal sometimes, right? Yeah. Like the pressures of the world even can be too heavy for the strongest man of the world. You just want to be normal. You just want to be with the woman you love and not have to face these things.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you think that the thing that would make you the happiest is taking away the thing that you think the thing that's hindering you the most is your strength, right?
Yeah.
And if you just took that thing away, that you would be fine with it. So I say that to say, let's say that you have a lot of money, and you're just like, man, if I just have this money, I'd be fine. But that's not always the case. There's always going to be more problems.
Yeah.
And that's what you find out. When you take those things away that you think that are making you unhappy, and you're like, man, if I just didn't have this, I'd be happy. Or if I did have this, I'd be happy. But you soon find out that that's not the case.
Yeah.
Whether you get something or you lose something, that's not what's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
And I think Superman found that out, and that's kind of what the movie teaches you, right? That's not what makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's that you have this ability, use this ability that God gave you.
Yeah.
Right? Just use it in the way that you're supposed to use it and help other people.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the way I like to think of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and once he saw that he needed to go get that ability back, he went right back over to the crib. Like, that boy went and ate some snow. And that's the first time, I don't know why. Again, this is going to be so side note.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm watching this. One of the only things I took from that movie is, like, after he got beat up by Biff, he walks back to the North Pole. Yeah. And as he's walking back and hitchhiking, I see him eat snow. And I don't know why in my brain, hey, I never thought about eating snow. So the next time it snowed, I went and ate some snow because I saw Superman do it. Anyway, so he goes back and then he gets back into the crystal, and he tells Zod that, I can make you more powerful. And then he gets back in there and he beats them up, right?
Yeah.
Switches it up, makes them lose power, gets them back in the negative zone. He wins the day. But the point I'm trying to make is, like I said, that's what made me enjoy the movie the most, is that he got his powers taken away thinking that would make him, all his problems go away, solve all of his problems. And it didn't. It just brought more new problems.
Yeah. So
the thing is, don't wish for your strength to go away that God gave you.
Yeah.
Right? He only gives you things that you can handle.
Yeah.
Right? So just fight through those things. Be grateful for the strength that he gave you.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah, that's good. You side note on that, you anticipating how are you thinking about the new Superman coming out?
Oh, it's dope to me. Yeah. Especially that clip that came through when the robots put him on there and they clicked those little lenses and the sun came through. Oh, that was, and plus it's James Gunn. Come on, man. I don't ever doubt James Gunn. Yeah. So it was kind of fire.
Yeah. Man, my fourth one, Civil War.
Okay.
Man, I think that movie really just...
So North and South Civil War were like Abraham Lincoln?
Captain America 3 Civil War.
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was the third movie. Yeah.
Civil War, okay. I think that movie really changed the MCU in the direction that it was going to introduce someone who I know is on your list.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was probably... well, never mind. But, man, that... introduced Black Panther, introduced Spider-Man, it brought in Ant-Man, and it brought a seriousness to Marvel. Yeah. It brought a seriousness that I think that they may have been missing. And I think all the movies before that were good in the right direction, not how it is today. But I think it was a really good pivot of like, hey, I'm going to give you this villain who isn't stronger than any of you. But he's he's thought about all this. It's very premeditated. And he wants to take down the Avengers for a really cool motive. And I think I would say he's probably the third best villain in all of Marvel and all the MCU behind Thanos and Killmonger. And
you're talking about Zemo.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, that's just really cool to see. And you see all these characters coming together, and they both have really strong sides. And I remember on Twitter at the time, it was a big deal. Like, are you Team Cap? Are you Team Iron Man? And at the surface level, you're just looking at their characters. Yeah. And I'd probably say everyone was Team Iron Man back in the day. But when you saw the movie and you're like, oh, this is what they stand for, then it's like, it's hard not to root for Cap, because he's like, the safest hands are always our own. Like, we don't want to be affiliated with the government. Like, if there's a problem and we need to go take care of it, we don't have to wait for like all this red tape. And so like that side of it is like, oh yeah, I'm Team Cap for sure. But I mean, you look at who Iron Man has: Spider-Man, Black Panther himself, Vision, and it's like, okay, like this is a good squad right here. And so that's why I love Civil War. I think it's one of the best movies in the MCU, and it really set things up well for, going into Infinity War, where they were still on the run and separated. And I mean, they're still dealing with some of those things from the Soviet Accords.
Yeah. So to dive a little bit deeper into that movie. So one, let's talk about the villain of that movie, right? Zemo. That, I don't think people give that piece of the movie enough credit.
Yeah.
Like the intricacy of his plan and the reason why behind it, right? Because you really have to go back to why he did that. Yeah. And it was because of the Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And all of that, right? So, and that's all, this is all Tony's fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you see in the beginning, he's wrestling with that.
Right.
He meets that mother who's like, "Am I my son?" And yeah.
So think about like the domino effects of all of this, right? Yeah. And Zemo doesn't, like, you think all of this is happening because he wants to create more Winter Soldiers, but then once they get to where Zemo is, he's killed those Winter Soldiers. Yeah. Like, it was never about that. Yeah. Because the whole movie, you think that's his driving force. Yeah. He's like, no, I don't want more of you. I wanted you guys to implode.
Yeah.
So I don't mind getting arrested.
Yeah.
I need you guys to understand you're going to kill yourselves.
Yeah.
And that was his ultimate plan. And I think, like, that's amazing. And it gets back to what I was talking about. Like, the reason why these people do it is because you make these enemies. And I think it was, maybe it was Vision that talks about this in the MCU. Are superpowered people making more superpowered villains?
Yeah.
Right? Are we making more of these things?
Yeah.
Because in essence, if there was no Iron Man in the very beginning, there would be no Zemo.
Yeah.
Right? At all. If there was no Steve Rogers, there would not have been a Zemo. Yeah. Right? Because there's just these domino effects, right? And it's weird to think about it that way, but they're creating their own problems that they're having to fix. Yeah. Right? I'm sorry, if there's no Steve Rogers, there'd be no Bucky. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of just weird domino effects of what's going on. And I mean, I just love how they all interweave and do those things. And even like us, what was it? Did Bucky even kill T'Challa's dad? Bucky didn't do that, right?
No, he did.
Did he? Did
He's mind controlled.
But he didn't set off the bomb, did he? Because he was looking for him, but I don't think he's the one that set off the bomb.
He did. Yeah, Bucky killed him.
Really? I got to go back and look because I thought Bucky was someplace else. They just showed, because they were like, how is it this bomb goes off? And then they got all these pictures of Bucky, but Bucky was, because when they found Bucky, he was in a whole nother continent.
Yeah, but I think
that's what they were saying. Like, how did they have a picture of him when he was in a whole nother continent? I thought it was somebody else that did it, but I could be wrong. But I mean, that still deludes. I thought it was a whole other person. I know Bucky. Yeah. But here's the thing. I know Bucky killed Iron Man's mama because he was like, I don't care. You killed my mom. Yeah. Like, that's
powerful.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean.
And Steve knew.
Yeah. And he's like, did you know? I mean, yeah. Like, you gotta let Tony at least choke him out. Like, that's his mom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. But again, these are just things that kind of happened, and Zemo was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show him." You know what I'm saying? That's your man's. Yeah. Like, you gotta let. I mean, and Tony's your guy too. So what do you do? What do you do when your best friend kills your new best friend's mom? Like,
hope I never find out.
I'm saying, like, when Mason kills me because he was mind controlled. What do you do? Like, I mean, do you kill Mason or you choke him out? Yeah. I mean, what do you do?
I got to get my lick. I got to get a lick.
At least a lick, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's again, that's what makes Civil War such a great movie, right? Just those things. Forget all the people they introduced. It's just those kind of intricate backstories or thoughts that the Russo brothers brought into it that make it amazing, and why Kevin Feige gets paid the big bucks. Yeah. So there you go.
All right, what's your 3?
3. Let's see what 3 is. Oh man, 3. Deadpool. Deadpool. Why Deadpool, you ask, right?
Yeah.
Man, Deadpool was so interesting to me that Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds in every movie, right?
Yeah.
But he was the perfect Deadpool for the simple fact that he always wanted Deadpool to be a thing, right? Yeah. And no one thought Deadpool could be translated into a movie. And he was like, all right, cool. I'll make something and drop it online. And I'll make it foul. I'll make Deadpool a thing. Yeah. I'll make it foul. And everyone loved it. So much so that they were just like, okay, Fox was like, fine, I'll do it. Yeah. But think of how that transformed. He did something, made it online, made it a thing, and then made it a movie. That was so powerful, made it another movie, and essentially they killed everything from Fox, but then was like, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to let at least this thing die. Yeah. We're going to bring this over to the MCU. Yeah. And they're like, well, how can you bring Deadpool to the MCU? Because, it's Mickey Mouse and we got to tone it. No, we're not toning him down at all. Yeah. And it's just like, and we're bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Yeah. Like, that's powerful. Yeah. All off the first one. And then Wolverine Deadpool as a rated R movie went ham, and it was amazing. Yeah. Like, he was hilarious. Mm-hmm. The name Francis will be synonymous and live forever in a superhero movie for the rest of eternity. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Where's Francis? Yeah. The way he went looking for that man is hilarious. Yeah. The way he talked about the X-Men is hilarious. Yeah. I mean, the way he broke the fourth wall. He talked about things that we thought about as audiences, right? Yeah. I'm taking you to see Professor X. Which one, McAvoy or Stewart? Like, it's just, you guys screwed up the timeline. Yeah. It's just like, those things are just great. He made Colossus funny. He made Supersonic, whatever her name is, like, relevant. Yeah. Like, he did these things that were just amazing, dope. Yeah. I don't know. Ryan Reynolds did a great job. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then every iteration that he's done has just been great. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, who cares about who his enemies were in those movies? Like, it doesn't even matter. He made that character great. Yeah. Right. And then even the cameos, what he brought back, this last one, he made it great. Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry. I do want to go back because, yes, what he did and the way he made those cameos, great. Civil War was a precursor to Avengers Endgame and what was the one before that? Infinity War. And it helps show how all of these people can be on screen together, right? And I think Deadpool and Wolverine is also going to help show how all of this can come together for Doomsday and Secret Wars, right? Because you need to see how all of these people can come together. Yeah. And I loved how Deadpool and Wolverine can show different iterations of people, because when we thought that was Captain America, when that boy said flame on, oh my God. And that's what's great about Deadpool, right? And again, Deadpool, when I put Deadpool at number 3, I'm talking about all the Deadpools. Okay. And there's a reason why I'm saying this, because there's going to be another instance in my top 5 where I'm talking about all of them as a whole, not just one. Yeah. Deadpool shows you that you can just bring the way you bring people back as a cameo is going to be something that you didn't expect. Yeah. That makes it great. Yeah. That boy said flame on, but when they get in front of Xavier's sister, right? Mm-hmm. And he starts talking about what he said, and he said that you're a and he's like, I did not. And then all this, but then at the end of the movie, he really did. That, I'm like saying, that's comedy. That was genius. Yeah. But you don't expect those things out of a superhero movie to be that classic and that's funny. Mm-hmm. But that's what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool, and that's what Deadpool does as a comic book and as a superhero movie. And I know we had talked about this. Like, we were debating offline, do we talk about comic book movies or superhero movies, right?
Yeah.
But I love how Ryan Reynolds was able to bring a comic book movie to a superhero movie to a theater movie.
Yeah.
He did that and he blended it so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Deadpool as a whole is my third favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I never really realized the impact of Deadpool.
Yeah.
I just thought funny guy, interesting character, and how are they gonna get this to the MCU? Like it seems impossible. But I'm very, thankful that the MCU was not, and I'm sure Ryan Reynolds wouldn't have been like, I'm not doing this if you guys are gonna be like this. But I'm thankful that the MCU just let it reign.
Yeah.
And it did well.
Yeah.
But I think as you're explaining it, I think I know what I think I know what your number one is. As you're talking about entireties.
Okay. Let's see. I don't think you do, but okay.
Yeah, my number 3, man. This movie has issues, but man, it's special. Man of Steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, that movie, and I was watching most of it last night. I didn't get to finish it. But I'm going to start with what I like about it. And then we can talk about some of the issues most people have. Man, the music. Music's powerful.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark.
Yes.
It's not like the Dawn or Superman's. And I like that. Mm-hmm. And it deals with the question, and even his dad says this. People are afraid of what they can't understand.
Yeah.
And the people don't understand him, and they willingly give him up. And kind of like going back to Sky High, there's just this weird in between of like, who am I? Of like, am I from Earth? Are these my people? Or am I of Krypton? Because right now I'm just not fitting in to anything. And I think that's just a really cool way to tell a story about someone who is the most powerful being in the world. And that's the way you have to do it. And I think that's the way James Gunn is going to do it. It's like, this guy's an alien. Mm-hmm. And no one gets him. No one likes him. No one respects him. But he's also like the epitome of good. Mm-hmm. And like because of that, because he's not a jerk, he's not going to kill you all. And he's going to keep fighting for you, even though you will never accept him for who he is. And so I think that is powerful. It showed the challenges that he had in a really cool way, the time jumps and everything. And it was also one of the first movies that I had ever kind of analyzed in a way. It came out in like 2012 or so. I was in middle school, and I remember leaving it and thinking like, oh man, like they did some really cool things with this scene and how like it all tied in to tell like this major story. And so that's why it's super impactful to me. But as I'm watching it, man, there are some things that are rough. Like the CGI is rough. They either needed more time or more impactful scenes, because the first hour just felt kind of weird. But as soon as Zod got on the screen, it was like, oh, like this is very terrifying. But all in all, it's my number 3. It was the one I kind of went back and forth on between another movie, but I think it does well in communicating a story about what it means to be an outcast, and all you're trying to do is be good. So,
one day, probably if I'm allowed to come back next season, or when we have a talk, we have to dissect Superman as a concept, as a universe, and everything. Because I mean, Lex Luthor, Batman, the whole thing. Because I honestly think Zack Snyder did the perfect job of encapsulating Superman so far in a movie. I think Man of Steel is the perfect Superman movie. Yeah. Right? Just even I hated when people got mad that he killed Zod. Yeah. You have to do that. Yeah. That was so perfect. Yeah. There's no reasoning with that. He told you what he was going to do. You see what type of a man, let's say man, that he was on Krypton. On Krypton, he warned them what was going to happen. Yeah. They didn't listen. They sent him to the Phantom Zone. Zod was never going to let that happen again. Yeah. Right? So he was going to destroy everything to rebuild Krypton. which means he did not care about these lower life forms. They were ants to him. Yeah. He did not care, and he was gonna destroy Kal-El to get the Codex. Like that was not a thing to him. And he again destroy just to rebuild him, just to because he didn't want to lose another Kryptonian, and he knew there are other Kryptonians out there. So again, none of these things mattered to him.
Yeah,
he was a soldier.
Yeah,
that was his thing. So these life forms that are here now are beneath him. He was either going to mate with them to make more Kryptonians.
Yeah,
and the ones he didn't were gone.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. So for people to be mad, and think that, oh, you're destroying the legacy of Superman. Superman did what he had to do to protect this Earth.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no reasoning with this man. You have to kill this man.
Yeah.
Now, I understand from that point on, you could have said from that point on, that's how he came to the fact where I'll never do this again. I can't ever kill because I felt so devastated from this that you can't kill anymore. That's probably where Zack Snyder was going from that point. Yeah. But for people to be up in arms like, oh, Superman, no, there's a reason that happened.
Yeah.
Right? Everything else was great about this movie. This movie established all of that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was probably the best Superman movie ever made. And people who didn't understand that, to me, I was like, apparently you don't understand cinema. Like, that's how this goes. And sometimes you need to shake things up. Yeah. To make not everything is going to be the same. Yeah. If everything's the same, you've already read all those other Superman. Then why are we going to watch this? I want to see some things different sometimes, right? And he perfected these things, right? Mm-hmm. Like the thing I like about James Gunn, Superman, right, that we've seen so far, we've never seen a scene like the Fortress of Solitude turning and him getting getting strength like that. And it looked like it physically hurt Superman to get healthy, right? Those are new things we've never seen. Yeah. So I like those things. We've never seen people boo Superman like that. Yeah. So these are evolutions of a story. Those are great. But I've seen people complain about that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people complain. If you've already seen something, why are you complaining if you see something new? If you want to see something old, go read the old books. I hate, like, Jay-Z said it best. If you want the old Jay-Z, go listen to my old CD. Yeah. Like, sometimes we just need to get something new. Mm-hmm. All right. But yeah, I do love that movie.
Good. Number two.
And
Can I guess?
Yeah. What do you think?
We talked about it last week.
No. What do you think my number two is?
Black Panther.
Ha. Wrong.
Wow.
I think you think my number two. I think you think my number one is what my number two is.
All right. It's Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Yeah. Yes. So yes. So I'm still waiting on number three, or the third Spider-Verse, which I guess is coming out in 2024 or 2027. But now. Yeah. But I'm so devastated about that. But yes, the Spider-Verse is both of them are my and the third one apparently is my number two. Dude, speaking of something new. So do you know how Miles Morales came to be? Yeah, so actually I'll just go ahead and say Spider-Verse is on mine. Okay.
I was going back and forth on.
So what's your number two too?
It's my number one. Okay. And here's why. So we can have a joint conversation.
Okay. So let's do this then. Yeah. All right. It's your number one. And it's my number two. Yeah. Okay. So how about this? Let's go with your number two. Yeah. I'll go with my number one. Okay. And then we'll talk about Spider-Verse together for number one.
That's great.
Okay. So let's go with your number two first, and then we'll go with my number one.
Yeah. Dark Knight Rises.
Is your number?
It's my number two.
Okay.
Because I watched it recently, so there might be some recency bias. Okay. But the fact that he obviously had plans. Christopher Nolan, best director out there. Okay. The fact that he tried and he accomplished to follow up The Dark Knight, which is probably the best superhero movie of all time, widely agreed. And I think it's amazing. But coming out of that, losing Heath Ledger and coming all right, we're going to do this, to jump 8 years in the future and to provide a new villain in Bane, it was amazing. And here's what I think. There's something unique about seeing a hero fall and rise. Okay. And you don't always see that. And the scene that I watch every time and I get goosebumps is when he's in the pit and they got Hans Zimmer playing the Rise in the background, and he's getting up and he's talking about, how do I get out of here? And it's like, jump without the rope. And so he's like packing up his stuff. He's going up there, and I forgot the pronunciation, but everyone's like chanting, and he's like, what does that mean? And he's like, rise. I'm like, oh, here we go. And he's climbing and then he makes the jump. But to see Batman give up after Dark Knight, he loses Rachel. He has this idea that Rachel was still going to want to be with him. And that just crushed him even further. Like, the Dark Knight obviously rises at the end when he gets out of the pit. But the Dark Knight also rises at the beginning after 8 years, and he gets back out there and he tries to save the city from Bane. And it's like, oh, he rose there. No, not really. And then the real rise was at the end when Bane destroys him. And then I think it's just one of the best endings. And like my critique on Civil War is the fact that a trilogy is hard.
Yeah.
And I think like wrapping it up
Yeah.
is challenging. But the thing that Dark Knight does is how it Dark Knight Rises is how it combines elements from the Dark Knight and Batman Begins with the League of Shadows, Harvey Dent, and it's like the perfect culmination of a trilogy, in my opinion. And then obviously the ending of the movie is amazing. People debate it. People are upset about it, but I think it's perfect. How he takes the bomb out. It's so good. And I wanted to put it at number one, but I'm excited to talk to you about Spider-Verse as number one because there's an emotional kind of like relatability to Spider-Verse that we'll get to that makes it number one. But yeah, man, Rise gets too much hate. Bane was an amazing villain. To see Batman get beat up and come back is amazing. Introduce Catwoman was in a good way. Good twist, good writing. I mean, you got Robin at the end-ish. Alfred wasn't in it much, but the scenes that he was in, it was amazing. All his lines are powerful. He's talking about it's time we let truth have its day. And the movie's all about truth. They have this lie of Harvey Dent, and it's like, oh, the truth is what needs to be said. And man, I could go on and on, but man, Dark Knight Rises number two because of, I think, the challenge of following up the Dark Knight. You like Rises?
No. No. I say no.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that, one, Bane, great villain.
Yeah.
They cheated my man Bane.
Like the way he cheated Bane.
Bane would have whooped Batman again if Catwoman wouldn't have came with that gun and shot him. Bane would have.
Batman already beat Bane.
No, he
hit his mask and Bane lost control.
Bane would have.
Bane got bailed out.
Bane would have whooped Batman again if Catwoman wouldn't have came with that motorcycle and shot him like 8 times or whatever. Bane would have. Yeah. Batman knocked him that mask off.
Yeah.
He lost control and broke his back again, and he'd have been trying to raise up out of that. They'd have been like, "You rose," but they've been chanting again. So he'd be like, "I'm not trying to make that jump again. That's the 3rd time he done broke my back."
Yeah.
But no, it was a cool movie. Like I said, I liked the elements that you talked about. I understand everything that happened. Ra's al Ghul's daughter comes out of nowhere, Natalia. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you're right. It's hard wrapping up a trilogy, especially coming from Heath Ledger and the Joker. Like, that loss was tremendous, right? Yeah. And then having to come back from that, like, what do you do? And to have Tom Hardy, who I think is an amazing actor, right, play Bane, and the gravitas that he brought to that movie was great, right?
Sheesh,
and I mean, Christian Bale, amazing in the movie. Everyone did their job, and again, I do believe he gets too much hate. But the only reason why it gets that much hate, if that movie would have been the second movie, people would have loved it. Yeah. Right. And then Heath Ledger would have been in the third. I think people, you know what I'm saying? It would be considered one of the greatest trilogies ever. Yeah. But it's just because Heath Ledger did such an amazing job as Joker, and then we lost him. It's like how do you compete with that, right? How do you come after that? But I do agree with you. I really do think it's a really great movie. I think it gets too much hate for no reason. I'm just messing with you. I do like the movie a lot. Again, I do think Bane would have whooped Batman again. Yeah. So, but this actually goes to my number one when I talk about cheating. Which is the biggest problem I have with my number one. Yeah. But like I said, it's a really, really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I do watch it when it comes on TV. Yeah. Like I said, I get all pumped too especially like when that boy gets his back broken, but he's like, hey man, it's time to get up, time to go be Batman again.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd be like, once he got out of that cave, like, how did he get back to Gotham so quick? Like, he's not get a jet just waiting. Like, Master Bruce, we've been waiting on you for like a couple days.
And there were a few things where, like, you know that when they light when Commissioner Gordon lights that flare and like the fire of the Batman, I'm like, bro, when do you have time to do all this?
right.
The city's about to blow up, man.
He's like, got time to do all this. But it's just, you know, it's that coincidence of movies. But it's a good movie, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My number one movie is Black Panther. That's it. And just because, like I said, it's not even, yes, it was for the culture, right? But it's just an amazing movie.
Was it, and we can get to this later, was it heavy-handed at all?
To me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was heavy-handed at all. Like, I thought it was the perfect amount of just what it was. First, I learned something new about this movie. So Ryan Coogler's doing a press run for Sinners, and I can't wait to go watch that. It's coming out this weekend, right? And I learned something new. So Denzel Washington has been talking, I guess a couple of years ago, then last, I want to say 2 years, just talked about how he went and saw, when we went and saw Black Panther for the first time, he was invited and didn't walk the red carpet. He went into the back, and he went and watched and he cried. And he said, you know, that's when he knew he was okay with passing the torch to Chadwick Boseman and Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Right? So it like he was emotional, gave him a hug, and kind of went on about his day. Okay? So Ryan Coogler goes onto the Breakfast Club, and it's a really good interview. Yeah. And he was talking about, they were talking about, asked him about that, right? Have you heard Denzel talk about that? And he's like, I'm going to tell you guys a story that you probably don't know. So Chadwick Boseman graduated from I forgot what college it was. And they said that after he had graduated, you know, he wanted to be an actor or whatever. So Felicia Rashad said, you know what, you want to be an actor, you need to leave here. You need to go over to the UK, because that's where all the strongest actors are. It's like Wimbiana leaving France and coming over to the NBA. You want to go play against LeBron, right? And he's like, man, I ain't got the money for that. And she's like, hold on a second. So she leaves and goes talk to Denzel. And it's like, hey, there's this phenomenal guy this phenomenal person wants to be an actor. He's like, okay, I believe you. Don't tell me who it is. Just give me the money. I'll give you the money. Right? So she gets the money from him, sends Chadwick over there, right? Yeah. Tells him that Denzel sent him over there.
Yeah.
Go be great. So he goes over there, kills it, right? Comes back. So you know what he's done, right? He comes back. He does all these movies he does, like what was it? The Judge movie. Thurman Thomas? No, was not Thurman Thomas. Oh, was it? What's the name of the movie? Yeah, you two don't know nothing. He does 42, right? And then he does all these great movies, right? And it's gonna kill me that I can't remember the movie where he does James Brown. Does all these he's killing all these movies, right? Does a great job. Doesn't mention anything about Denzel sending him over to the UK, right? Now, mind you, all these other actors probably would have mentioned this. Hey, you know Denzel sent me over there, you know, pay for this. Doesn't mention it to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Probably seen Denzel a couple of times, maybe, whatever. Doesn't say anything. Once Black Panther opens, Denzel's in the back or whatever. He's like, hey, I need it. I don't know if he's seen Denzel or not, but he says, hey, Ryan, could you tell Denzel come here, I need to talk to him. So tells Denzel, hey, Chad wants to talk to you. And then whispers in his ears, hey, I'm the one that you sent over to. What's his name? All those years after he's done all these great things. Yeah. And he said Denzel just started crying.
Wow.
I mean, that's amazing, right? So that's just one impact of this movie. But if we're just talking about the movie as a whole, right? Honestly, there's been a bunch of great black superhero movies, right? Yeah. Blade, Meteor Man, so many, right? That have just, matter of fact, even Blade, we wouldn't have MCU if it wasn't for Blade. Yeah. A lot of people know that, right? And if you don't know that, MCU, Marvel as a whole was not doing well, especially when it came to cinema. Yeah. But the comic books weren't selling off. So that's why you have Spider-Man at Sony. That's why you have all these different Marvel properties at different places, because Marvel wasn't doing well, so they sold it off. one of the last properties that they did have at the movie for like cinema, like Marvel proper, was Blade. And they signed Wesley Snipes to do Blade. And Blade came out and it just made a killing. So it actually saved Marvel and able to do a whole bunch of other things. And then one of the next things that it did, I mean, it did do like the Hulk with it, all that stuff. But one of the next things that it did do because of Blade and the Blade trilogy was Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then it kind of rolled from there.
Yeah.
So Blade saved it. But I say all that to say, then we get Black Panther, not in chronological order, but I'm saying Black Panther came out and it just became like a cultural movie. It became a thing. But the movie was just a great movie. And what made it so great, besides Chadwick Boseman being a great Black Panther, was Eric Killmonger, right?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's performance as Eric Killmonger. And it was the complexity of who he was and what he was doing, right? And it basically is a story of the sins of our fathers.
Yeah.
Right? Where T'Chaka came and killed his brother. But it's not because he killed his brother over something righteous. His brother came to the Americas and saw what was happening to his brethren here, how they were being treated, how they were being colonized, how they were being mistreated and being treated as second-class citizens, how they had been treated for over 400 years by being oppressed around the world. And he's like, we have this technology. Why are we not helping our people? Right? And T'Chaka was like, that's not what we do. Like, we only take care of ourselves. And he's like, why? Like, no, I'm not fixing to do that. I'm a part of royalty. I'm about to help our folks. And they got into that argument and T'Chaka killed him. Right? But then instead of taking his nephew, he just left him there. So then Eric sees his pops on the ground, dead, and then sees these people in this spacecraft just dip on him. And then his uncle, who he thinks is his uncle at the time, right? Forrest Whitaker, just gone with him. This is a person that's like you seeing your mom on the ground and I'm just gone. Like you at 8 and I'm just up, right? You think whole life, just me and you kicking it. Me and your mama kicking it. And your mama, your mama a thug anyway. I don't care if she watch this. Mama a thug anyway. And she been talking about the revolution. It don't need to be televised. It's time to go now, right? And I told you everything about what we used to do back on 54th Street. And it's time to go, right? But then now she's laying dead on the ground and I'm up. Right? But everything that she told you is in this other land. Right? So, okay. Think about that. So you're at 8 and you're like, okay, y'all just leaving us back here. So know what I'm fixing to do? I'm fixing to learn every way I can to protect myself and my people that are here. Because they're the ones that love me, who've always been there for me. The people of California, Oakland, Black folks here in America, because the people over there have never loved me, have never been there for me. And to be honest, this is a conversation that Black Americans have had quietly forever. Because, and again, this is a conversation. I don't know how many of your listeners have ever known this, but I'm gonna let them in on a little secret if they've never watched Black Panther. That this might be a conversation they don't know really does happen. Black Americans think that Africans never came to our aid. And sometimes they think they're better than us when they come here. Because, hey, y'all are the ones that got caught. Y'all are the ones that were sold. We didn't. Y'all are the ones that are whining that y'all were enslaved. We come here, we work hard, we own things, and we're like, yeah, because we were held down, we're slaves. Well, why are you using that as an excuse? Why didn't you come help? These are arguments you have. Like, so this is the dichotomy that Eric is having. You had all these technological weapons to help. Why are you letting us down? Why are you letting us be enslaved? Why are you still letting us have their foot on our necks when you can help?
Yeah.
Nah, we're not fixing to let that happen. So he goes the rest of his life. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to avenge my dad. I'm going to avenge my people. I'm going to get the technology to make sure that we are avenged. Right?
Yeah.
So he spends the rest of his life doing. He comes up with this plan. I'm going to go get it. Right? Now, on the flip side, you have T'Challa, who is still mourning his dad over what happened.
Yeah.
But he's now got a country. He's the Black Panther, and he's got a country that he has to face. And that's what it was. He finds out that it was, what's my man's name? The white dude with the arm. Claw.
Bucky?
No, Claw.
Claw.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He's the one that killed his dad. Right? He finds out it was him and stole the vibranium.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's like, hey, man, get the vibranium back.
Yeah.
And get the dude that killed your dad so he can do trial. So everybody's screaming at him about that. And he's new to this. Like, his pops is supposed to, hey, man, he was only supposed to wear being a Black Panther.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be worried about getting a country.
Yeah.
And you got M'Baku like, nah, dog, I want to be the Black Panther. You worry about this running the civilization stuff. I'm trying to be Black Panther. So first he done whooped M'Baku to be Black Panther. Yeah. And now I'm still got to be the nation.
Yeah.
And I still got my fine spy chick girl who's trying to get back. He's got all these things. I got my little sister who's a genius who's making fun of me half the time.
Yeah.
Like, he's got all these things going on.
Yeah.
I got my mama, but I'm worried. I got all these things that I have to take care of. And I got the American government who wants to know more about us.
Yeah.
Right? But I got to keep my people safe. So these things are all happening, but I still have to grieve my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the sequential things that are happening to him.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, while I'm doing these things, right? And I'm trying to figure out the mystery of these things, this dude comes out of nowhere that I hear about, and he has the man that killed my dad and the stolen vibranium right here. Right? So now I got this white dude, this is from CIA, is like, oh, no, he's one of ours. This is who he is, gives you the rundown. Yeah. Right? So you think you know who he is, then you find out he's your cousin.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So he's your cousin now. Now he's like, nope, I want the throne because I got that blood in me. Yeah. You can't tell him no. Yeah. Right? So everybody like, oh, he got the blood in him. And then he starts talking that ish. Yeah. Hey, man, you done let us down for years. I'm taking all these weapons. We fixing to get up out of here. Yeah. Right? You can't tell him no. You still got all this other stuff in your head. But you know what? I'm the Black Panther. I've been putting these hands on my whole life. Yeah. He don't know nothing about me. Yeah. Got these hands. Okay? So we about to go put this fight. We about to fight in. I'm gonna show who I am. Yeah. Right? My sister done been yelled at the whole movie. Mm-hmm. I just beat M'Baku. We good. Got my fine spy woman back there. My mama watching. Yeah. Can't lose in front of my mama. Eric said, and uncle, whatever your name is who left me, I see you. That boy took off his shirt and said, I done killed everybody across the nation. You see all them burns? And he was not ready for that.
Mm-mm. Is this your king?
Is this your king? Mm-hmm. Now, this gets to something that I go back to with The Dark Knight. Why they cheat, my man? Why they cheat Eric?
What do you mean?
Eric was about to kill the Black Panther. Yeah. He was about to kill T'Challa. Here come Uncle Forrest. Don't kill him. Kill me. All right, cool.
Don't kill
him.
Yeah.
In every iteration of every book, of every comic book, every movie ever made, do you know he whoops Black Panther every time they fight, but somebody stops him from killing Black Panther? Every iteration. Yeah. Eric Killmonger whoops Black Panther, whether they have the purple herb, whether they just regular hands, whether anything. You can look it up. He whoops Black Panther. Yeah. He is the Black Panther. Yeah. Right? They will not let it happen. Marvel's like, we cannot let this man have all the power because he will wipe out everybody. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Even in What If. You've seen What If, right?
I haven't seen that.
Okay, in What If,
Yeah.
he gets all the stones. And they no, can't let that happen. Doctor Strange got to do some stuff to capitalize him, so he cannot have it. So I say all that to say, they're like, nope.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, it's just a great story to understand that sometimes a villain is not a villain. It's because of the circumstances they've been in. And it ties back to my very first movie, the fifth one, right? It's the circumstances you're in, and it's the perspective that you're in.
Yeah.
Eric's not a villain. You just got to understand the way he was brought up.
Yeah.
And the hurt and the pain that's inside of him.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is right by his people.
Yeah.
His people have been hurt, killed, molested, like persecuted his whole life. And he's tired of it. He wants other people to feel the way he feels. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And he wants to hurt people.
Yeah.
And is he wrong for that? No. You know what I'm saying? Is he going about the wrong way? Maybe, but that's all he knows. And he says that's all people understand.
Yeah.
Right? We've done enough peaceful protests. Sometimes the only way things change is through change.
Yeah.
And sometimes that change is going to be painful.
Yeah.
But you're not going to understand unless you feel this pain.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what he's going for. And T'Challa is just like, no, we're not going to use that. And he's like, you've been sitting up here. The reason why you're saying that is because you are the most powerful people. Powerful people don't want things to change. They want to stay status quo. Nah, man.
Yeah.
You got to help people. And he's like, those aren't our people. That was so powerful. He's like, those aren't our people. And he's like, didn't they say that Africa's the cradle of life? So isn't everybody your people?
Yeah.
Don't we all look like you? The people I'm talking about, don't we look like you? Ain't I you?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the powerful thing. So that's why I love that movie so much, because it's like, again, is he really a villain? Because all it is perspective. Now, do you go about it the wrong way? Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it just makes people think. It let people in on a conversation that we've had for so long, and it just gives you a different idea. And even at the end, when he died, you could still see how it opened T'Challa up to say, okay, maybe we need to let our technology into help more of our people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The answer isn't to oppress other people, but it is to grow our people and other people. Yeah. So that's what made it deep. It's opened his eyes to, we can't be closed off. Yeah. We need to open up. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, that's why Black Panther is my favorite movie.
Nah, this is good.
Yep.
Let's talk about the Spider-Verse.
Talk about the Spider-Verse.
Man, okay, let me tell you why. Okay. I was going back and forth on Rises or Spider-Verse is number one. And I think...
Whoa. Before we get into it, do you know how Miles Morales came to be?
I know his origin story, but no, like Stan Lee and kind of.
Well, it didn't come because of Stan Lee.
No, but it was saying.
It became because of not Charles. What's his? Not Charles.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Oh yeah. And they even had that cameo in the in actually both movies, which is like pretty funny.
Yeah. He wanted to be Spider-Man, but Black Puerto Rican, it was because of him, because he always wanted to be Spider-Man, and they said, okay, well, we'll make a Black Spider-Man. Yeah, because of him. Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, it is pretty special.
Yeah.
It's too old now, but
I mean, I'm saying they had never thought of a Black Spider-Man before him, and he just was like, I want to be the first Black Spider-Man.
I didn't know he was that new.
What, Miles Morales? Yeah.
I think, man, it was the reason I put this one above is because it was really cool to see someone who looked like me.
Oh yeah,
and like. You know, Spider-Man's always been one of my favorite superheroes. Just he's awesome. He's amazing. And then to see in 2018, like a Black Spider-Man, and I had known about Miles Morales. I had read some of his stuff, but that was just really cool. And I think that's something that I'll always get to carry with me. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that he's a cool, like he's not some geeky sidekick.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh no, Miles is a cool dude, and he's geeky in some ways. But that's impactful, to me, and why I wanted to put it above Rises at number one. And the movie's just good. It's different. The animation, the music, the storytelling, how they are one of the few to do multiverse right. And it's like, no, man.
Lord Miller, yo,
yeah,
perfect, yeah.
And so, man, I love that movie, and getting to watch it earlier this morning was cool, and it's funny. It's small details that are really cool, like the PDNY, things like that. It's just like, oh man, this is good. The whole uncle connection. And so it's like, it's really cool. But yeah, what do you think?
Dude, like kind of what you said, man. The intricacies of it. I mean, everything about the Spider-Verse so far, I hope they nail this. Like, this could be the best trilogy. And I know they're going to. I do. I have faith in them. Everything about it, like, even if we start with the first one, right?
Yeah.
The way they did it and the way they introduced him is dope. Like, okay, first, in his neighborhood, he's so cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's tagging. Yeah. He's dope. Everybody knows him, right? That's what's so dope. Then he goes to his uncle's crib, right? Him and his uncle vibing. Yeah. And then they just got a special connection. Like, me and you got a connection with movies, right? Yeah. But, like, their thing is art. Yeah. And, like, his pops don't understand it. And then, you know, it's just their thing, right? And it's so funny. He goes from being cool in his neighborhood to then when he gets to his new school, like, nobody messes with him.
His jokes aren't falling. Hey, we're wearing the same jacket.
Which is hilarious, right? And that's what, and again, we're off camera, we were talking about Mason. We were talking to Mason about a situation. And then that's what you tell people are lame. Like, when you know something's fire, and then they don't respond, you're lame. I know I'm fired. Like, that's cool. And then, like, hey, you know your shoes inside. It's a choice. Yeah. Like, it's like, sometimes you just got to keep knowing who you are and it's funny or whatever. And that's just cool. And I mean, just everything about him, he just knows who he is, right? And even in the situations when it could be awkward, he just still knows he knows who he is, right? And I'll tell you something else that's just subtle about it. I like how, even though he's trying to get with Gwen, I like in this iteration that that's not his love story. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think he's trying for it to be, and it's not. And I think she's trying to explain to him, hey, in every other story, Gwen and Miles fall for each other, but it never works. And I'm glad that she's telling him that up front, because I don't think that's it. And I'm glad they're saying that, right? Yeah. And that's cool to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that it needs to be something else. I think it needs to evolve into something else, because he doesn't need her. She doesn't need him. They need to be friends, but they don't need that in that dynamic. But, I mean, just everything about him and what he's doing. And I love that, like, even in the second one, like, they're telling, like, like they're talking about it's like a certain event that every Spider-Man has to go through. One, to me, it's weird that they're saying that he messed up, like, events, but didn't his uncle die? I'm like, isn't that his event? So why is he, you're saying that he's messing up his event, right? And then two, didn't you mess up, isn't the reason why Miguel is his whole time event because you went to another universe and screwed it up? Yeah. So why are you mad at Miles? And then, like, so a lot of what Miguel's talking about to me is totally screwed up. So I hope they explained all those things. But Miles has got his own story, like you said. Like, so quit trying to fit me in this box, right? Yeah. And I love that's the thing though. Miles is like, dude, quit trying to fit me into your box. Yeah. You know, help me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and then, dude, my favorite character in this so far. I love Miles to death. But Punk Spider-Man, dude, what's his name?
Andy Samberg?
No.
The African guy, right?
Yeah, but what is it? Now it's gonna kill me because I know his name. Dang it! Now I'm gonna into the Spider-Verse. Golly, what is his name?
I don't.
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah,
I think it up.
I was thinking Samberg. What Spider-Man like? It was a Spider-Man 89 or, but no, I think what is really cool to just see how they have done this multiverse thing really well, and how the cameos feel good.
Yeah.
First off, I didn't even put it together that you have like Donald Glover from Community in the first first Spider-Verse, and then the second Spider-Verse, you have Donald Glover from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh yeah,
which is really cool, and then you obviously got Andrew Garfield, little cameo as well.
Yeah.
How'd you find the name?
Oh, Hobie's my guy. Yeah. That like that Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite because Hobie comes in and he's the one that's telling Miles, dude, like quit trying to fit into what they're doing. Like, and he said, use the fingertips, use your palm. Yeah. Like, I love that. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to tell him, like, dude, quit trying to fit in with these folks. Like be you. You know what I'm saying? And I love that Hobie's trying to explain that to him because Miles wants to feel a sense of like community and stuff like that. And like, dude, you don't got to do that. Like, I know you want friends. Like, but see who your friends are and who isn't. You know what I'm saying? And I like at the end, you see who's trying to help him, right? And it's funny, after the movie came out, and I actually have this poster. It's in Nia's room, your cousin. And someone else mentioned it. There's a poster that's out there was a poster that came out before the movie that was promo that has Miles hanging upside down. And
it was my lock screen. Hold on.
It has all the spider people behind him. And if you notice, there it is.
Yeah.
On one side, it's got all the people who are against him, and on the other side, it's the people that want to help him.
Wow.
And I didn't. It's like someone pointed that out. And it's kind of dope.
Yeah.
So
it's really cool.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just you got to just know people who really just got your back.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just as you can see, like Miles doesn't care about what the status quo is, right? Do you be? That's not what superheroes about. Being the status quo. It's about helping people.
Yeah.
That's why when he helped India Spider-Man, like she was trying to stop him because it was a event, canon event. Miles doesn't care about canon events. He cares about helping people. He doesn't care about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what threatens Miguel, right? He's like, no, you can't just go help people. Like you got to let things happen. No.
Yeah.
Like, again, it goes back to what makes a superhero, or forget superhero. It was what makes a hero a hero. Yeah. Doing the right things.
No matter what the story set.
No matter what happens, what the cost is, whether it harms you or it harms anyone else, it's what the right thing is. Yeah. Right? And that's all Miles cares about. Yeah. Right? Whatever the consequences is, it'll be what it'll be. And, like, I love that about Miles. He doesn't care. Yeah. And the great thing is, like I said, when he goes into the fine details about this movie, right? How did we not notice at the very beginning, the breadcrumbs they give us, right? The first movie, the spider glitches. Yeah. It was not supposed to be there. Like they tell you in the first movie, if it glitches, it's not supposed to be in that universe. Yeah. The spider glitches and dies, right? That's crazy. And in the very beginning of the second movie, when he describes the spider that came, you see the other Miles have braids. Yeah. And you see that it came from that universe. Yeah. And then like it's just so many things you can tell. When Miles goes to universe 42, nothing looks the same. Yeah. Like he doesn't even match the drawing of that universe. It's just so dope. Yeah. I love like the little details they gives us, like the backstories they give us. You hit me with the bagel. Like you created me. Yeah. It's amazing. I love their writing skills. Yeah. When he popped in and the Peter that was the Lego blocks. Yeah. That's a kid that's 12 years old. They gave him that whole scene because of something he did on the internet. They saw that he created Lego blocks on the internet and made like animation. That's awesome. They called him and was like, hey, that's so cool. Do you want to do a scene for us? Wow. I mean, that's just amazing. They give people that type of like experience, man. It's just Spider-Verse. It's amazing. Yeah, man. They hit it. They hit it on the head. Yeah. I'm excited. 2027. Jeez, man. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, but we got it, man. Man, closing thoughts, man. This was a fun episode, man. I know we
will definitely be in the theaters for James Gunn Superman and
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Is there any other superhero movies that are coming out anytime soon? I can't think of anything right now.
Not a movie, but I do have to plug Daredevil. Have you been watching it?
I have. I'm actually an episode behind. Okay. I don't know. I've heard some mixed thoughts about this last episode, I guess. I don't know what happened.
Like the most recent one?
Yeah.
It's probably the best episode that's came out.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know. I've heard mixed thoughts about this last episode. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on an anime kick right now, so I'm kind of just stuck in anime.
Yeah.
Like it's not hell, because I've really been enjoying a lot of really like great animes. I just finished a really, really, really good sports anime that I did not. It's weird, okay, because this is we're gonna go into like a weird anime conversation. It's a sports anime called Blue Lock. Okay. And again, I don't even like soccer, but now I just want to watch soccer because it's an anime about soccer, but it can go into any sports. Yeah. Because the way they talk about like sports and like just your, it's a thing. So, but yeah, man, I've been watching just a lot of different animes and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I love just any kind of superhero stuff, man. It's been dope. So
good. Well, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoy. This is the last episode of season 1. And so we will see you guys in a few months as we dive back into movies and reviews and favorites and brackets. A lot of fun stuff ahead. So thank you guys so much for the support for the first season. We are just looking forward to just seeing where this goes. And so until next time, peace.
Peace.